G'day folks, it's Rob here and welcome to the aquaponics area in our small little backyard farm. In today's clip I'm going to be covering a couple of questions actually. What is aquaponics and how does it work? And then we'll run through a couple of pros and cons as I see it to setting up a small little backyard aquaponics system like we have behind us here. So we'll hook straight on into it and answer the question, what is aquaponics? Well, aquaponics is the combination of two food production systems. The first being aquaculture, which is the raising of fish in a controlled environment, and the second being hydroponics, which is the growing of plants in a soilless medium using nutrient-rich water. When these two are combined, they form a symbiotic relationship or polyculture called aquaponics. Now by themselves, both aquaculture and hydroponics create a large amount of wastewater which needs to either be filtered, which can be quite expensive, and added back into the system, or in some cases, depending on the local laws, can be dumped straight into drains and waterways, which can cause huge amounts of damage to the local environment and ecosystems. So when hydroponics is integrated into the aquaculture system, we get to conserve a lot of the water. It gets recycled through the system over and over with very little actually going to waste. Plus, we also get the added benefit of faster plant growth rates that you traditionally see in most hydroponic systems. The reason aquaponics is so great at recycling water through the system rather than sending it out to waste is because of some naturally occurring nitrifying bacteria. They're all around us in the atmosphere, in the soil, in the water, different families, different genus. So these nitrifying bacteria obtain their energy by oxidizing ammonia and nitrite from the water in the system and turning it into plant available nitrate, which isn't toxic to the fish in the aquaponic systems. So I really do think that these bacteria are the backbone of the system. They really do perform the key role of bringing these two systems together. More about those guys in a moment, but for now we'll have a bit of a look at how an aquaponic system works and how the water flows through and gets clean for the fish. Well, to begin with, we need to put some sort of nutrient into the system, and that's where the fish feed comes in. We drop a couple of pellets in, the fish will eat it, they'll assimilate the majority of it into their own growth, and then the rest of it has to be passed through. Now, the majority of the ammonia will be excreted through the respiratory system or the gills of the fish, with a smaller amount of it leaving out the back passage or the cloaca with the solids waste. The ammonia and waste-rich water is taken from the fish tank and delivered into a grow bed. The grow beds are made up of media, and this media provides a home for the nitrifying bacteria to live in. So the ammonia enters and the first lot of bacteria gets to work on oxidizing it. These bacteria are called nitrosomonas. They will oxidize ammonia into nitrite. From there, the nitrite is oxidized by another genus of bacteria called Nitrobacter, and they turn the nitrite into the plant available nitrate or NO3. So the nitrate is then taken up by the roots of the plants where it's used to facilitate their growth, and the clean water is delivered back into the fish tank, ready to be loaded up with more ammonia and solids waste to go through the cycle again and again and again. So when it comes to the aquaponic systems themselves and their design and their layout, there's a whole host of different ways you can configure them. So I'm not going to go into them in this clip here, but I will be looking at them in follow-up clips. So if you'd like to have a look at those clips and learn a little bit more about aquaponics, all you need to do is hit that little subscribe button down there and check the little bell icon when it appears, and you'll be sent a notification whenever I upload an aquaponic clip to this channel. You can come along and say g'day and check it out. But for now, I think we'll move on to the pros and cons of having your own aquaponic system in the backyard. So one of the largest reasons that holds people back from starting an aquaponic system, if they've been to a course or visited a shop, is the price of the system itself. But in saying that, if you are quite handy, it is fairly cheap to make your own aquaponic system out of recycled drums, containers, troughs, and the commonly seen caged IBC tanks.